Well, you break through to another level, and then you have to sort of occupy the whole niche of that other level. Imagine if you are going up a never-ending skyscraper, and you have to go up to the next floor. Well, before you get up to the next floor, as you get higher and higher, the air may thin out and whatnot. It's sort of like that 8,600-story building that I have Bit von Rheingold in his acid trip going through, where Dennis Hopper keeps falling over the railing because of his urinating. And as you get higher, you're going to have to get acclimated, and so you have to sort of go up and then spread out, and then steel yourself to go up to the next level. And so that's just the natural progression of things in science and art. And you have a Whitman, and then there's a 50 years or so before Pound and Eliot come along, and Pound and Eliot do some things, but they are not really the important things. Their import is more just that they sort of cleared the way for other people who are better, like a Robinson Jeffers or a Robert Frost, or a Hart Crane, or a Wallace Stevens, these people who go far beyond Pound and Eliot.
A quote that had some more resonance was, when fiction doesn't contain any more eyes above it, then it is dead, in the sense that when you are unread, then the literature no longer has any sort of importance. You think that in 10, 20,000 years, that will be the state in most literature, that not necessarily that it won't be valued on a historical level, but as soon as it's no longer needed to be read and consumed by the masses, that it no longer has any kind of greatness associated with it?
Literature has never been consumed by the masses. Writing has. Even if we go back a couple of hundred years, when things became relatively cheap and people could read, some of the poetry of the Romantics, some Wordsworth books, or the Bible even. Real literature has never been mass popular, and I could see that even if people get to a point where they have transcended bodies to a certain degree, or they can upload things into some kind of ether just by thinking to do it via whatever mechanical implants, I think that there will still be an interest to read, simply because it was the first art form that you could convey deep and complex thoughts without actually uttering them to someone, writing them down. I can read Homer. I can read about Achilles. I can read about Ajax. I can read about Odysseus and know their basics. Or I can read about Beowulf because someone wrote it down. And so there is that writing literature, in a sense, is probably going to end up a precursor art to some art that is purely non-physical. But I think that when there will be when I can enjoy a film or a play in my mind that's being projected by someone, or some thing that puts it out into the cosmos, I'll still be able to say, or someone 1,000, 10,000 years from now will say, that's interesting. That reminds me of a trope in one of Dan Schneider's books, which took that trope from an early filmmaker in the 20th century, Tarkovsky or something.
It would have to be something outside of telekinesis, though, because telekinesis would be sort of just like implanting a film, where you would get the narrative and you would still not be able to have the inner workings of the mind and viewing certain things to it. So it still would be a lesser art form than writing if it was such a thing as telekinesis.
Well, it would be telepathy. Telekinesis is actually controlling physical objects. Telepathy is mind-to-mind communication, but perhaps I don't know. I'm not going to be around for it, so.
Well, that's just pure speculation. Let's speak about The Thing After Death. This is your first play. You wrote it in, what was it, 10 days? And,
let's see. From June 12th to the 21st. Yeah, 10 days.
And this is what you called the beginnings of your spoke theory, but it's actually the axle theory, as you correct in your second play.
Yeah.
Speaking a little bit about axle theory, as it's been redefined, and also the contents of this play, the narrative structure.
Well, this goes against. This is basically what I said in an earlier video when I misspoke. It wasn't the spoke. I was looking up and saying, "Oh no, it's the axle." In that dramas, even the modernist dramas, still tend to revolve around one big axle. The wheel turns around one axle dramatically. I use the Charlie Chaplin Modern Times with him slithering through some gears, and the problem with that is it doesn't just like total immersion is a more realistic way of conveying dialogue, even though there can be poesy behind it, a deeper layers behind it. By just having the one axle, it's like a whirlpool pulling you towards melodrama rather than realistic drama. And as great a play as I think, for example, Iceman Cometh, or Streetcar Named Desire, or Long Day's Journey into Night, or The Glass Menagerie, or Death of a Salesman, or Fences, or any of these great plays by modern masters of the 20th century they all revolve around some kind of a secret, or one shocking act, or this, that, or the other thing. And even in something like Long Day's Journey into Night, it's basically about the secret of a family, and not really the secret, but I guess you could call it the secret, the alcoholism and the avoidance of reality of that family. That's it. And as well done as it is, you kind of get, at least if you're familiar with drama and melodrama, you kind of know where the play is going the first time you're going to read it, if you've read other plays of its type. And so by having 4 or 5 axles, you mitigate that, and you get more towards a real drama, even if you have some comedy in it, which this first play, That Thing After Death, does have.